Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's Aransa, or Ari, however works for you guys. So today I'm back with another blog, and today I want to talk about something that's been in my head a lot recently due to a recent experience that I had, and that is dating with a disability. So I actually saw a few videos on other people's perspectives before doing this because I wanted to see like what other people were thinking and if I could relate to what they thought about this topic, and I think I definitely can in certain aspects. So basically I want to share an experience with you guys that I had to basically like help anyone who's going through any insecurity, and to kind of like express how shallow some people can be, and like how just like wow, it's disappointing to think that some people, very few, but some do think this way. So basically the story that happened to me that I never thought it would happen, honestly. I met this guy on Tinder a while ago, like sometime back in, I don't know if it was August, I think, like late August. So we started talking, it was going great, he asked me out on dates, but like I kind of put him off just because I was concerned about like what he would think, you know, like that's always a hassle when you're online dating, is telling the other person that you have a disability. So eventually I told him and I explained to him what it was, that I couldn't see, blah blah blah. He was very cool with it, he was like very receptive, he's like, oh no problem, like I'll guide you, I have no issue. He was very accepting. So I was like, okay, we ended up meeting up, things were going great, like I felt like we connected pretty well, like we had great chemistry. He was great at guiding me, which was pretty shocking, to be honest, because a lot of people have a hard time getting used to it. A lot of people struggle with like, oh, am I walking too fast for you, or am I doing the right thing, or like how do you do this, or you know, typical things like that. So yeah, so like we were talking, it was going great. He met my friends, I met his friends, like he also introduced me to his friends. He met my dad, he met my brother, he had been at my house a few times. So like it was pretty, you know, like legit, I would say. And things were going great, like he seemed super into me. The worst part is that this guy was like, like sweet talking me super clearly, like I would never do the same thing that the past guys did, like I'm not gonna be like those other assholes that hurt you, like I'm not like everybody else, blah 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 blah. You can probably imagine what else he said. Guys are funny, by the way, you guys, why do you guys do this? Like it's so like, if you don't mean something, don't say it. Just don't say it, because us girls, we get emotionally attached a lot quicker than you think, or at least I do. So yeah, like don't lie to us like that, because this guy was just lying through his teeth the entire time. Anyway, so eventually, out of nowhere, like almost 3 months later, out of nowhere he disappeared. Like I never heard a good morning from him again. I never heard a hey, let's hang out, let's go to dinner together, or let's go to the movies, or I want to see you. Never. Like he completely ghosted off the face of the earth, and I was like, whoa, what happened? I thought it was my fault, you know? So I waited like 2 weeks. I reached out to him and told him like, hey, it was disappointing that I never heard from you again. I thought things were going great. I don't know what happened. If you could tell me what happened, blah blah blah. And his reason, and he knew he was an asshole, because like he said, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to be an asshole and tell you the reason, and then I made him tell me the reason anyway. And his reason was, he realized that in the long run, my vision loss, or my vision disability, was going to be a very heavy factor, and that's why he had lost interest in me. So like it made no sense to me, because I was like, bro, you knew from the start what you were getting into. Like he didn't have to tell me all that BS, like of that he was different, that he was never gonna hurt me, that this and that. Because you know what that did? That attached me more to him in a way, even though like it's inevitable. If somebody's like talking to you so sweetly and like treating you so well and telling you all these beautiful things, that you're beautiful, that you're unique, that you're this, that, like obviously you're gonna get attached to that person. So eventually I did become attached, and then he hits me with that, which left me like, oh my god, it was like a rock thrown to my chest, because it's like the last thing I wanted to hear from you was that. So yeah, like this is why I wanted to make this video, because I feel like so many people especially from the disabled community, like they blame a lot of the things that happen to them on their disability. And like I want to stress that, like, guys, it's not the disability. Like, this is literally, out of all my dating experiences, like, this has literally been the only time a guy has blamed it on my disability. Like, never has it been a disability issue. Like, in general, my dating life is messed up. It's just because, like, it is. But that's, you know, it can happen to any girl. Like, unreciprocal love, for example. That's something that I struggled with for years because I had this guy friend, that I was really into, and years went by where I didn't tell him, and then eventually when I did tell him, he rejected me, and it was, oh my god, it was like the most hurtful, the hardest heartbreak, the largest heartbreak I've had in my life, to be honest. And I will always remember that guy because he was just such a good, like, he was such a good memory, to be honest. I will never hate him, even though he was very harsh when he told me that he didn't like me back. But, you know, like, he was a great friend. For the years that we were friends, he was a great friend. Things didn't end as well as I wish they could have, but, like, that's a struggle that anyone can have, you know? And then other guys that, you know, like, oh, you're not my type, or, like, things just don't work out. Guys try to take advantage of you and get what they want and then leave, and if you don't give that to them, they leave. But, like, you know, that can happen to any girl. You don't have to be blind to experience something like that, you know what I mean? So for this experience, when this guy told me that it had to do with my blindness, like, it was just really hurtful, just because it's something that's very sensitive to me. You know, like, my disability is something that I do struggle with, even though I am a happy person, I am confident and whatnot, but, like, you know, it is a struggle. Why even lie? Like, it is, at times it can be hard. So for someone to tell me that, like, it was just very it was hurtful. It was. And just because I liked him too, like, I really did like him at some point. Obviously now I don't. I hate him. Like, I laugh now that I think of the like, what it was, what the thing we had was. Like, I just, like, I'm embarrassed of it, guys. Like, I'm embarrassed I liked someone that's so shallow. Because, really, like, that's all he cared about. He couldn't care enough to know who I was, like, otherwise, aside from my disability. Like, that's all that mattered to him in the end. So, yeah, aside from that, let me see. Like, basically, dating is the same thing. For all you sighted people out there who think it's different for us, like, it's the same thing. Like, I feel the same way as any other girl would feel. Like, I have my friends, you know, I have a perfectly normal social life. I go out, I have fun, and my friends have never seen it as an issue, you know what I mean? Like, we go all over the place. Like, I party, we go clubbing, we go to dinner, I call my girlfriends for a girls' night out, or they call me, or like, hey, somebody, like, there's a party going on at this person's house, let's go, or hey, like, I'm bored, want to hang out, like, I'll pick you up in 5 minutes. Like, you know, like, it's a normal lifestyle. Like, I don't see it as an impediment. So if there's somebody that has told you that they don't like you for a reason that's that meaningless, like, don't take it to heart. Like, there are people that are crazy out there. There are people that are just superficial, simple as that. Like, they're superficial, they look for other things, they look for physical appearances, they look for money, for other things. But, like, let that be, you know, a warning, or let that be, like, how can I say that, like, an advantage, because you dodged a bullet, you know? Like, that guy was no good in the first place because he didn't want me for me. Like, he saw something that is a part of me as an issue, something that I can't do anything about, you know? And I know people who accept me for who I am and they have no issue. Like, I even have a friend who has my same disability, and she's married with somebody who can see, and her husband, like, takes her everywhere. Like, they have an amazing relationship. Like, I've always looked up to them because it really is something that, like, I admire, and I, like, wow, like, it's just something I'm so happy for her, because she just like she's just so happy with him, and they travel the world, and like he takes her everywhere. He drives her all over the place. He loves her to death. So it's just such a beautiful thing, and I'm like, wow, I'm so happy like to see her that happy. And yeah, like it's something that you have to learn to deal with. And even though there are people who will like apart themselves from you because of that, it's not gonna happen all the time. Like, there are good people out there, I promise. There are good people. Like, I have my group of friends and we have a blast together. We go to the beach. I've even been on cruises with my friends. Like, we have a blast. And they've never had an issue with having to guide me, or like they've never seen me as a burden, in other words. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. Kind of let you guys know what the story was and get you guys' opinion on it, because it makes me laugh. Now that I think of it, I just laugh. I'm like, oh well, thank you, next. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. That was my venting on dating. So yeah, I hope to see you guys soon, and thank you for listening to my rants. So I'll see you soon. Bye.